y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Alisa.
And we are...
That's right.
Your favorite sister podcast. So today is going to be your favorite relationship podcast.
Your favorite relationship podcast.
Because we kind of have a special guest. Look, y'all have been listening to us talk relationship talk for quite a while. And we want to have a male perspective because, you know, admittedly, we are coming from a very female perspective. So who better to join our show than my husband, the amazing host. He's not the better half. That's weird. He himself would never say he was the better half. The amazing host of The Crew and You. He hosts a sports podcast that drives me crazy because they talk trash and they don't like. He can talk to y'all about that.
Yes.
But my husband, his gorgeous self, is coming on. Come on, baby.
And my brother, my wonderful brother.
How you doing?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We have a little gift.
Do you? I like gifts.
I know. Honestly, this is cute, right?
This is cute.
Turn
it around. That's right.
This is nice.
Okay.
Kira made this?
Kira. Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't
Shout out
talk
to Kira.
her.
Shout out to Kira.
Shout out to
Kira by
Kira.
Designs, was it? What is
Designs by
it?
Kira.
Designs by Kira.
Oh, look at this.
Isn't that cute?
This is nice.
A little wine glass. You don't drink wine, but you can put your root beer in there.
Root beer?
You gonna put some in it?
Just put it down. We were unprepared.
Thank you, though. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is a shirt.
It is a shirt. It's a t-shirt.
It's a medium.
It is not. It's an extra large.
Okay,
Extra
yeah,
large.
That's what I
Yeah.
need. That's what
Turn
I need.
around.
I've been
Turn
working
around.
out.
You have been working out.
Yeah.
I've
That's
noticed
right.
that.
Your
I've been
favorite
paying
sister
attention.
Thank
podcast.
you.
All right, babe.
All right.
We don't have a lot of time. We'll let you talk about The Crew and You at the end.
All right.
We're just going to talk about relationships because you've seen the podcast before. You've seen me and Alisa before?
Yes, I've seen y'all.
on the podcast, on our show, if you watched it?
I have.
Okay, good.
He's a faithful watcher.
So,
for sure.
you know that we talk about relationships
Mm-hmm.
and marriage, and you know that I have talked about some of our challenges. You know, I talk about how great you are. You're the best person I know. And you know, I know that you don't think that's... Turn to you.
Oh,
boy. Oh, God. About to get serious.
So, no, you say, like, I love you. You know you're the best person I know. It's been a journey, right? And we're going to talk about it. Why are you nervous?
Oh.
You don't know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk about that. So because it started off very much like my husband is the best person I know. Then in Unplugged.
Then it went downhill.
But listen, this is what I know.
It went Unplugged. We went to, you know, talk about some challenges.
Okay,
and I was vulnerable in that. And I wanted to be real to our audience in that just because you can have a really good, strong marriage and there are sometimes complications. Like sometimes you have those, you know, down times. And I just wanted to be real about that because people comment and like, oh my God, I want that. And I'm like, kind of let me show y'all more of what it looks like because you can still want this, but don't run away from it because there is like a downtime, right? And so I think we've kind of learned that. But before we get into all of that, we have a very interesting story about how we met.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
So
That's exactly where I was going.
we have two different versions
Yes.
of how we met. Go ahead and tell your version. Tell what happened.
All right.
Tell what you think happened.
So this is exactly what happened. I mean, so my brother is a independent film director. He called me and asked me to be on a set with him and my children.
Shout out to Brimsley's Walk.
Yeah, Brimsley walked and never made it out. But it was there for a reason.
Shout out to Chicken
It was there
Green.
for a reason.
So
Definitely.
he calls me out there to come and hang out with him for the day, and bring my children so they could be on the set at the park. And while we're there, he says, you know, I need you to cover Miss Parker with the umbrella and the special guest that's on his show as well.
Miss Parker being my sister.
So-
in-law.
Who's Miss Parker? Who is this Miss Parker that I'm supposed to be
This
guy is
so full of it.
putting an umbrella over? And it happened to be my wife now. And so the day goes on, man, and
This is a limited time.
oh yeah.
Let
Go
him
ahead,
tell
tell
his
the
story.
story.
So the
They
day
know your
goes
story
on.
already.
I'm holding the umbrella over Miss Crystal over here. And we're chit-chatting. I'm spitting my game, you know.
Oh my
Just
God.
Is he
little-
G?
Yeah, just little slight stuff, you know, how we do, you know. And she's falling for all of it, man. I got it in my hand. Man. So I meet the kids. Me and the kids, we bond already.
Oh my God, this guy's so weird.
I introduce her to my kids, and they bond, and So we go back and forth, and then toward the end of it, man, she said she had to go out and leave and go meet, not meet anybody, but just go to a function. And so I said, she said she had this dress that she wanted to wear, and it's gonna be fresh. So I was like, oh, really? Let me see what you got. Send me a picture. And she was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, what you mean? She's like, nah, I'll send it to your brother. I was like, oh, right.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So she's acting like she's about to leave. She comes back and then she gives me her number. So, as she leaves. I text her and let her know, hey, man, this is G. This is when you was talking to all day. Just hit your boy up when you get an opportunity. So about 30 seconds later, she texts back, oh, thank you. I was just wondering.
Let it be known, brother. Let it be known.
I was just wondering if he's going to call. I was like,
oh my God, this guy is so weird.
So she goes to the party about 7:30. I'm getting the call again.
Are you kidding?
7:30, 8 o'clock. She's getting the call. I'm like, oh, you done already? The party said it was a day party. So it was over early. I was like, okay. So then we talked from 8, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
Just chit-chatting. But at that moment, at that night, that's when I knew that, okay, God had put somebody in my life.
You did not know that night!
Look here, buddy.
That's your story. You stick to it?
That's my story.
That's my story.
No, so yeah. Oh, that's when I knew though. Okay, we got something special.
Good conversation.
We could have something special. Yeah.
So here's the
How's
story.
your story?
Here's the real story.
You're going to have to sum it up. But
So here's the real story. So, and this is not even the main part of what this episode is about, but so about 8 months before we actually met, he took a picture of my behind. And I found that out when we actually met, and a picture of my behind was in his phone. So we go, no, honestly, my son plays the piano, and he was part of this thing. All of this is true.
The piano part. Yeah,
yes, and I
didn't even see your butt.
I'm bent over, I'm leaning on the piano, listening to him play the piano. He takes a picture of it. He says he's taking a picture of my son playing the piano. I say, you take a picture of my butt. That's it. So we go, it's this whole thing with Brimsley's Walk. They had been on the set several times, so they have this filming, and I love his brother with my entire heart, but y'all know I'm a little bit intense, so they didn't have their stuff together, so I used to give them a hard time. So I was like, yo, I have a garden party to go to, because this was October 12th, 2013. Mm-hmm. And so this was when the Lord told me, you're going to meet your husband. So I thought I was meeting my husband at the garden party because the clock was ticking. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go to this thing. Long story longer, I end up having to take my kids and my homeboy, Uncle Zach, met me there to switch off. So we get there, and sure enough, his brother is like, you need to hold they had an umbrella for a little girl who was on a set of a major thing. And so her skin color couldn't change. So they had the umbrella. When she was filming, there was just this umbrella. And his brother tells him to hold it over me. And I was like, yo, this is mad weird. Don't hold that umbrella over me. And so he's just standing there holding the umbrella. And I was like, yo, you don't have to hold the umbrella over me. He's like, well, I'm going to do what he said. So this was mad weird. I thought he had no job or nothing, because I'm like, why are you out here with your brother holding umbrellas over people? So let me say this. My husband's gorgeous. He was gorgeous then. So I don't know that I was immediately attracted to him. I can say that he is an objectively attractive man. So I was like, but then the girl in the brown and white was staring at him like, why is he holding the umbrella over her? He need to hold it over me, because she was trying to be on him. But I was like, go hold it over her. Don't hold it over me. So I go and sit down. He starts playing football with my son. And I was like, wow, he's handsome. And so...
and athletic.
So he's playing with my kid. And then... So we talked after. I was like, yo, don't hold the umbrella. And then I go...
How long did we talk?
Oh, please, a few minutes. So no, we talked for quite some time. And so then at some point there's a break, and my kids didn't grow up drinking soda. So I told him that. I was like, yo, my kids don't drink. Because he was like, oh, your kids can have soda. I was like, they don't drink soda. So he meets my daughter and he is like, do you want a soda? She was like, I don't drink soda. I was like, you think I'm a liar? I told you my kids don't drink no soda. So we end up talking to all the kids, his kids, and then his kids did not know who Whitney Houston was. And that troubled my soul. And so I was like, why don't your kids know about Whitney Houston? What do you think this is? So we did. And by the end of the day, I was very into him. But he didn't ask my phone number because I don't know why. And so I was...
did indirectly.
You did. You keep saying that. And so...
How else will I get the picture?
Just, oh my God, please.
Yeah.
So he keeps asking me for this picture. And I was like, yo, I'll send it to your brother because you sound weird. And because I'm like, ask me for my phone number, you're a grown man. So finally, I was like, I'll send it to your brother. Then I give you a business card.
That's what it was, a business card. Yeah, you're a businesswoman. That's right. That's right. That's right. Right.
And with my phone number on it. I did not get to my car before he was texting me talking about this is Galen, the guy he was talking to. But I was super happy because I literally did not get his name because I'm horrible with names. And so then I go to he's like, text me when you leave the party. And then he texted me again before I got to the party. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I don't remember, but I know that I was, because you did. And then when I left the party, I texted you, I was like, I'm gone. He was like, oh, that's early. And that's when you fell in love. Because
dang, that was quick.
Wow.
Remember, because you told me, like, you're not used to people, like, it was a day party. I don't need to stay out all night. He was like, you home already? And I was like, yeah, like, and you were like, oh, like, you was so into that I was staying home. Like, I came right home. Yeah. And so we did. We talked like 2 or 3 in the morning, and it was fantastic. And then we just, and then the relationship developed from there. And it was just, it was good. And like, there's another episode where I talk about, you know, how I had written, so I had literally written him when we met. He had on like the clothes that I wrote in the story. And so it was, but I didn't like throw that on him immediately because that's weird. But I did wait a couple weeks into us, because we talked all day, because this is when I had no job. I was staying around. So
you said you're judging him.
I could talk to this man all day, every day. So he did. We talked all the time. And I had been single for quite some time. My kids never ever met anybody that I dated, because that's not the person that I am. No shade to other people who do that, but that's not me. It was the only reason they knew who he was because we all met at the same time. And so he's a big basketball guy, and Chris plays basketball. So he would come to his basketball games and stuff. And that was good. He did. Right away, I'm broke. He don't know I'm broke because I'm not telling him I'm broke. And I still have because I went from having money to not having money. So I still had all of the stuff the designer bags and all this stuff that makes it look like I have money. He had no idea. He calls me up one day. He's like, I feel like this is the guy, when I met him, he prayed for family, friends, and finances. He ain't no God like that. He went to church sometime. Just normal, right? Like but I'm like completely like immersed in God. And so in the mornings we'll pray together. We start praying together, reading our word together. And he comes to me like a month in, and it's like, he had no idea where I was financially. And he's like, the Lord told me to start paying your car note. I was like, what? You don't need to pay my car note because it's pride. You know, I'm good over here. Whole time I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna eat. And he just had no idea. And he was just like, I need to. And he just did. And I don't want to, we could talk about this for 2 hours, but like, he just came in, and it wasn't weird. And I didn't find it to be manipulative. You know, it was just very much like, he just came in to take care of us. And he did. And then I didn't have anything for Christmas for my kids that year. We met in October. He bought my kids' entire Christmas in December. And like with no thought, like there wasn't, and it wasn't even like a beggy thing. I wasn't like, oh, I need somebody. It was like, yo, this is, my situation. We were just talking in our casual conversation. I wasn't asking him to do anything for us. And he was like, yo, what do they want? And I was like, he already has his own 3 kids. So he has his own 3 kids. And then he was like, I was very proud. And I just didn't want to take from him. And so we got in a huge argument about it because I didn't know how much money he made. And I just was like, it was just weird. And then I remember driving, and he was screaming at me. He's like, this is how much money I make. This is what I do. I'm going to take care of you. And I was just like, and it was way more money than I thought he made, number one. So I was like, oh, he might could afford to take care of me. So then I just couldn't pay my rent. So he was like, I can't afford to maintain 2 households. So you can move in with me. He had room for us. You can move in with me. But I can't pay your rent and mine because he was renting a place at the time. He was like, but I can, whatever. So we knew at that point, like we had gone over the book. We had been before the Lord. We knew that like we were each other's person. And so we moved in April of 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And then November 2014, we got married. And that's just because I was like, what I can't do is this right here. Like I cannot just be shacking up indefinitely because I love and fear the Lord. Like that's my thing. So I'm not gonna do this for years. We either gonna get married, I'm gonna move out. Me and my kids, take them. So it was
That's
was
good,
great.
Great story.
It
sound. How did that story sound? Sound like mine?
It didn't, not really. Not really. You didn't spit no game to me. I was talking to you because I'm a nice woman, not because you wasn't spitting no game to me.
To a story. That's the truth.
That's true.
There's
We've
always
been
two sides.
together 10 years now.
Both of them were very, very romantic and very positive. Y'all probably would never agree to how it went down, but they were great stories.
Yes.
Since you was there for half of it.
I was there. Y'all didn't include me in it, but it's okay.
How did it go from your point? Your point.
Lisa, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Oh man, the pressure's real in the right household right now. The pressure is real.
Please tell the
real.
truth and shame the devil.
Well, I don't know the behind the scenes.
Okay, good.
But what both of y'all described, honestly, was what I saw.
Yeah.
So I do know that my brother held the umbrella over you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the purpose was. I don't know what him and my brother had. I don't know the conversation they had. But
Did Chicken set that up so that we could fall in love?
No, well, Chicken actually thought there was no way in hell I was going to be able to get you.
He did.
He did. Because he thought I was so fancy. Whole time I'm a trash can.
He was like, you can try.
There's no way.
And Galen was like, watch me.
There was no
Galen
way.
went over in pursuit. And he had a mission. And I knew my brother had a mission with that umbrella.
Oh, God.
And he did. He spit his game. He talked his
He
game.
did not spit game to me.
My brother was a G. He surely was. Talking to you.
Have you met him?
Do I know him? Yeah.
Oh, God. Yes. Chicken thought I was so fancy.
Yeah. And you are.
I'm not fancy.
You fancy, honey.
I am a trash can. He tried to get him to take me to these fancy restaurants. I'm like, my favorite restaurant is Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, she said that.
I was like, you said Crystal was fancy. Yeah, not at all. At all.
No, I don't want to do it. I would rather sleep than do anything.
And she'll eat and just have food everywhere.
Just please don't say that.
Oh.
Don't say that. No. I love you guys' story. You guys are like almost my favorite couple for real.
Who's your favorite couple?
Almost.
Huh? My
You
favorite
said
couple?
almost.
Oh, no, I said almost.
It's how we're twins.
Yeah, check me on that. No, you guys are one of my favorite couples for real.
Who are the other ones?
Well, we have family members too, like Leah and Hector.
Okay, they're okay.
Yeah. What we gonna say about that? All right. Let me slide.
Because they're great.
They are great.
Okay.
But I know that in relationships that you're gonna have your problems, you're gonna have your challenges. And I know Crystal, with me and you, Crystal and Alisa, on episodes, we've talked about some of the challenges that you may have. Mm-hmm. So just with Galen being here, like what real challenges do you guys have, in your relationship?
You're trying to get me beat up?
Yeah, both of y'all.
About the good stuff.
There's challenges. There's challenges. We know.
I got it.
And what are some challenges that you have, darling?
Let's talk about it.
I think blending families.
That's a good one.
That was a challenge. It started off really, really good in the beginning, and then it went sour after maybe a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge challenge for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting better. It's gotten better over time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it helped with the other side as well. Kind of.
What do you mean?
The
other side.
the mothers.
Okay.
They weren't helping the situation either.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was a huge challenge. And then me being a spiritual leader in our relationship. I think, as she's stated earlier, like, I didn't grow up in the church. I didn't grow up around anybody who was a spiritual leader. All I knew was pray and try to be good.
Yeah.
That's
You're
it.
right. I agree with you, brother.
So finding out, learning how to be a spiritual leader has been a challenge. I prayed for a woman who loved God and they sent me Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
God sent me Crystal like
Okay.
on
a trillion.
Yeah, a prophet. You
A
know,
prophet,
you know. So somebody who loves God.
Okay.
Like I didn't know there was another level like
Okay.
that. So
yeah.
that has been a challenge, but it's been a great challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That I think has bettered myself and our relationship. So.
All right. So just to kind of back it up just a little bit and give Crystal's intake, you mentioned just the blended families and just the challenges within the blended families. That was your challenge. Crystal, you saw that, you made reference of that being your challenges as well.
Right.
What was your deepest challenge in the blended family?
Me, I was the problem.
You was the problem. Okay. Okay.
And I'll say that, like my biological children did not have a problem blending in because I had a deadbeat dad on the other side. So we didn't care about like, he wasn't trying to keep them away from Galen. He was like, good, somebody else is doing the job. Like that's my story. On the other, but I tell you, I'm mom on a trillion.
Yes.
And so I came into the situation just like, thinking like the way they were raised was horrible and I'm better. So let me fix y'all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And their moms are great.
Yes.
Like it's not even like their moms aren't great.
Yes.
Like, and I do have the benefit, like Dallas, our youngest, was 4 when I came in the picture. So I've been here for a very long time, like most of her life. And so our relationship is completely different. Like we vacation alone together. We go out alone together. Like we have a real mother-daughter relationship.
Yes.
Her mom is great about that. Like her mom is like, thank you for being a mother to my child.
Yes. Yes.
But it was still, there were struggles there at the beginning. But I think there would have been some struggles, but I think it was me coming in so strong. Like, hey, my way is better.
Your way is
and
better.
so when
Do you see how my kids turned out?
Right. You see how great these, this is what we do over here. And then I came in, I didn't ease my way in. I came in like, we're changing all this.
Yes.
Like one day it's because Galen is a very lax father. Like he just, and then one day I was like, this is, why do your kids behave like this? And they weren't, let me say this, they weren't even bad kids.
They weren't bad.
They were just different than mine. So it wasn't even like they were like some crazy unruly kids. They made kid mistakes, you know? So I was like, well, they wouldn't make these mistakes if you were parenting this way. And then they hated me, right? Because why not?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And I couldn't see it at the time because I wasn't trying to do it I really thought I was helping them be better people, but it was too much too soon.
Too much.
And so,
and
we,
all of
it was too much because we never had, and I talk to my kids, I'm, there to make sure they're okay with things and all of that. So we never had the conversation with his biological children about like, hey, this is how things are going to be. Because, and this is, I love you, but he felt like I don't need to tell these kids nothing. Like they just go with the flow, right? If I say I'm marrying somebody and she is, that's what it is.
That's a man's probably way of thinking, right?
But I did talk to them. I talked to them and told, asked them how they felt. And they was cool with it in the beginning. Like, yeah.
Until I became psycho mom.
Yeah.
The psycho mom.
Dad, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm with it. And then
everything started, stuff started changing.
This is what we're dealing with.
Right. Like, no, because it went from, there was kind of an issue. I'm not going to get into it, but there was kind of a big issue. And then a birthday came up. And I was like, it was a big misbehavior issue with one of his children. And a birthday came up and I was like, why is she getting something for her birthday?
So while you're being psycho mom, my brother he's checking you about being psycho mom and he's thinking it's okay. No, it's more of the kids that's feeling the energy that are drawing them away.
Yes.
Okay.
So we were on the same page. He was like, I agree. But I did eventually end up talking to them and just saying, what we should have done is give you warnings. Like you weren't raised that you could lose your birthday, you could lose. Like that's my kids were raised like that.
Yeah.
So yes, you made a grave mistake. But I just came in and was like, well, this is how we discipline grave mistakes. And he wasn't even a big disciplinarian. And so it's just kind of like, you messed up, kid. Sorry. What you want for your birthday?
Yeah.
So I was like, you can't reward this type of behavior. And I always said, you cannot reward negative behavior. Right? Like and so it caused a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And so we are in a much better place now.
But y'all never y'all have seeked counseling for other things, but you haven't seeked counseling. You didn't seek counseling for that. Y'all just was able to manage it.
Yeah, we just don't. They were removed for
they kind of left for a minute.
Yeah. So it just, and it sucked. It was very hard on our relationship. It was hard for me because that's not that wasn't my intention.
Well, yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, I just wanted him to be a daddy for my kids. And then it was horrible for me because he was this amazing father for my children. And then his daughters are feeling like, you know, oh, he doesn't care about me. He's just taking on this, he just got a new family. And so that was a very hard thing for me to even deal with because that wasn't my intention. Yeah. Because I love them very much. And that's why I was trying so hard because I was like, I want y'all to be great people, you know? And they are great people.
Beautiful.
Because their moms are great, you know?
The whole family. Y'all all are just beautiful.
Oh
for
my
real.
gosh.
Beautiful blended family. Y'all come through the challenges, but y'all did a great job in mending it back together again. So kudos to you guys, you know, because I know that was definitely a challenge. Galen, you also mentioned just transitioning and Crystal being that prophet for you. Crystal, do you see it that way? Or are there struggles within you where you feel like Galen is not giving you the level of prophecy that you're looking for? Or do you have any challenges with Galen?
Well, it's just spiritual leadership. That is my number one issue. And that's like, even when we're in marriage counseling, that was what our counselor said. Like, Crystal I desire spiritual leadership, which is really weird because I am extremely spiritually grounded. Like, I know God. Yeah. And so I don't need somebody to like come in and pray and tell me what the Lord said, but I desire that. Okay. Right? I desire to not have to make all decisions. Like, when we make family decisions, it normally comes from, okay, I prayed about this, what the Lord says, and he's going to go with it. He don't, and I don't need him to be trying to check me like whatever, but he trusts which is fair. Absolutely. Like, and but that's not my desire. And so, and I used to tell him, but I don't say anymore because I've been to counseling. But like, you bamboozled me for real. Like, when we first met, you were reading your word, you were sending me scriptures, you were praying with me, and then we get into this relationship, like, for real, and all that's gone.
Okay, stop.
And so, yeah.
Galen, do you attest to that?
Yeah.
Did you feel like you bamboozled?
No, I don't
think it was intentional, but that's how I felt.
Okay.
Because it was I now understand why he did that. But for me, not understanding that, it just felt like everything fell off. Now you got me over here and you ain't even trying to read and pray. And I'm like, I felt, even early on, I felt some issues in our marriage. And I'm like, okay, we need to pray about this. We need to get these books. Because we weren't therapy, but like, and he just was super uninterested.
Oh, he beat you over the head with that. God told me I need to pay your car note.
Right. But I didn't feel like that. I felt more like we're not even praying together.
Yes.
Like, you don't even care about doing that. And so, but then you could tell why you felt like that.
She was forceful in everything she did. And
naturally.
She naturally,
what do you mean?
She would take over everything. So I kind of just, okay, well, you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I would sit back and it was a struggle for me, like, especially when we were arguing, to, now you want me, now let's come together and pray. Nah, I ain't about to do that now. I'm mad. I ain't about to sit and pray with you now.
Like, kumbaya with you right now.
Yeah, hold hands and pray. You just cuss me out. Okay. We got to pray together. No, I ain't about to do all that. So it was difficult for me to understand where I needed to be in that process.
Yes.
So being a baby in Christ at the point, you know. So yeah, it was. And it wasn't a bamboozle. It was just hey, you do it better than I do. Let's go with you.
Amen.
If you're the best at something, I'm going to ride your coattail. If I'm the best at something, you ride my coattail.
Absolutely.
So that's how I felt about it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't think he was intentionally like, I got her now.
Yeah.
It was just, it felt to me like, dang, I'm just out here. Like, I can't lean on him. He doesn't come in with the word from the Lord. He doesn't come in and say the Lord said, you know, a thing. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the beauty, and then I would feel guilty saying like, oh, the Lord said do this. And I'm just like, oh my God, is this man think I'm being manipulative? Because he doesn't know. He's not checking it. So, but it's like, but he never felt like that.
I trusted her. I trusted the God in her.
Yeah.
So that's what I leaned on. Like, I know she knows God. I know her relationship with God. I trust everything she says. I wasn't saying the Lord said, because I wasn't sure the Lord was talking to her anyway. So yeah.
More power to you, brother.
I'm like, I don't know if that was me or that was the Lord. So I'm not about to say the Lord said. So yeah, I wasn't on that level.
Yes.
So.
And you're doing great.
Yes, you're doing a great job.
It.
Yes.
And so another challenge, and I think that's it, because that's the thing. It permeates everything. The spiritual leadership or the lack thereof permeates everything.
Yes.
And so, and then sometimes I think I said this, like, I feel like he doesn't consider me.
Oh, you say that all the time.
No, I'm saying on here.
Oh.
No, I do say that all the time because I need you to think about me.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, but I have learned, and this is why I feel like therapy is so great, because I have learned, honestly, in therapy, it's not intentional.
Yes.
So I think what I have thought for years where he's just casting off things. You know what I'm saying? This is like, whatever. She doesn't, like, I factor my family into my thought process about anything, right? And so, but everybody don't think like you, Crystal, like, and that's okay, right? And so that's what I've just kind of just learn to grant him more grace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I need a lot of it.
A lot of it.
I'm only granting you a measure. But no, and it's so funny because, and I think I was talking to you about this. I feel like, okay, we're in therapy, we're learning. Okay, change. You know, so Monday, we in therapy on Monday, Tuesday morning, I want you to be different.
Yeah.
And the therapist is like, you don't, Crystal, it's us, because I have the consideration and the spiritual leadership.
Yeah.
And so she's like, would it be okay that he work on one at a time? No. What are you, that's a weird thing, right? Like, you know how I multitask over here. You know, so but I've had to learn, like, he was never taught to be this. And that's why we're very intentional of how we teach our children, because I don't want either of my son's wives to come and just be like, what did your mommy do what she's supposed to do? Why are you over here? You need to be intentional in raising them, because here I am and he's learning at this age, you know what I mean? And then it's like, I'm having to be patient, and Lord knows how much, but I got it now. I think I have it now. It's like, it's, I don't want to pretend that it's not frustrating, but I'm just like, he's not from this. Like, you get to stick this out. And then, like I said, then he texted me the other day. We were having a disagreement about something via text. This man he don't like to argue.
I love it.
And let me say this. He doesn't like to talk. So we can have a conversation. And that's what he says. Like, I feel like every time you want to explore something where it's an argument, I'm like, but it's not an argument. Let's just talk it through. You know? And it becomes an argument when you're like, I'm not talking about it. Then I'm like, you don't get to decide not to engage with me, especially if I'm not being aggressive. If I'm like, yo, so tell me, walk me through it.
She good with the walk me through it.
Tell me how you arrived here. And
you want me to go back to what I was thinking at the time.
Because
I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I don't know. I just did it. I don't know.
Yes.
Can't go back that far.
And that's because you weren't taught to think things through.
No.
And so for me, I was taught to think things through. And so we teach the kids to think things through, you know? So it's just kind of like, okay, babe, before you made this decision, he's like, no, it's not that deep for me. I promise you, it's not that deep for me. I talked about the ice cream thing, the turtle ice cream thing. Remember when you ate that ice cream?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. No, there's no ice cream left. It's in my bowl.
Yeah, Crystal was definitely being spoiled and dramatic.
No.
See, yeah, that's
because it's just within the confines. So here's another thing too.
I forgot about it. Tell me about it. What happened. I forgot.
Remember with the ice cream, and I said, hey, babe, can you give me some turtle ice cream? And you said, it's all gone, but we have another type. So you gave me the other type, and you come to the room with the turtle ice cream. And you're like, it was all gone. I ate it. I put it in my bowl. And
he said, like, what did I do wrong?
Remember I called Terrence?
Yeah, I do.
I was so mad.
And Terrence was happy about it?
Yes. Yeah. Terrence was like, yo, you was wrong.
So, Galen, do you feel like you should have shared your ice cream at this point? Because you didn't know that you was doing anything wrong in that moment.
Because, what was the other ice cream? It's probably somebody like
the turtle.
No, it was like butter pecan or something. Something
I like butter pecan.
Yeah,
you do.
But you remember
we was ice cream.
Remember we was on the turtle ice cream. We were heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
No.
Yes, I called his friend, and I don't even do that. But because he was like, "This, I don't understand. There was none left because I ate it. Because I was eating it."
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Anyway, we're better about
that.
Had
I started eating it already?
No, you hadn't. You were making yourself a bowl.
I might have took a couple bites already.
Galen, I will fight you on this podcast.
We don't promote violence.
We don't promote violence. We do not do that. We do not.
But that's it. So, but learning, that's the thing. It's like, I love my husband and it's fun. Like, we have
Now that's what I want to get into. So let me just stop you guys right there because we talked about the challenges.
Why are you like this? This is public.
Public affection.
We talked
PDA.
about the challenges, guys.
Okay.
Right? So I think
Lisa
that
said,
it's
get on
important.
topic. Stop rubbing her. Go ahead.
Let's talk about the positive things, right? Like what's good in y'all's relationship. Like what do y'all do? Do you date? Like what are the good things in y'all's relationship?
We definitely date.
Mm-hmm.
The good things for me is just the little things, and that is
Very simple.
the lying in the bed, holding hands while we sleep type stuff.
I'm so mushy.
The driving and holding hands type stuff. That I love that stuff.
Mhm.
I need affection.
Mhm.
That's my love language.
Mhm.
If you're not affection, I'm like, oh, she don't love me today. What's going on? Like, I don't know what I did. But we on the rocks right now. Lord help us, help us. So those things right there, and like date nights.
Date nights.
We try to do date nights, man, at least once a week.
Once a month.
We
go like twice a week.
Yeah, we used
twice
to
a month now.
We used to do once a week.
Once a
now,
week,
now
yeah.
she's so busy.
She's
we don't get to do it as much. Yeah,
okay, but y'all still find time to try to get it in. You know that you feel like that's important in your
that's
relationship.
very important. Very important. We used to vacation all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
was out.
We kind of cut back on that.
We try to do once a year now.
We down to once a year. We
Yeah,
used to
because
do
y'all
like
be
every 3 months.
y'all be extravagant with it.
Yeah, we used to do every 3 months. Yeah. So yeah, we always got to be together somehow. You want to go to a grocery store? Let's go. So we went driving the other day, last weekend.
Yeah.
What you want to do? Oh, I want to do something. I don't want to go nowhere, but let's just go driving. So we went driving. Go to Dad's house. Go to Pop and Law's house. So yeah.
That's so funny that you even mentioned that you had to always be together because Crystal was talking about a separation anxiety.
No, you call it separation anxiety. I did not call it separation anxiety. She said I have separation anxiety.
Because at one point, you y'all
couldn't
always
go play
spend
golf?
time together, but then you started playing golf, and all she knew
It
was
takes
you.
all day.
It takes all day.
Yeah, golf is all day.
All day.
Yeah, all day long. All day long.
Oh man, so you got the same agreements, the dating and
and that so I may be a little bit spoiled.
You are.
And just blame my parents. He lets me do whatever I want.
Yes.
There is not a thing I can say, like, if I'm like, oh, I want to see Beyonce, tickets are $5,000. He's like, get them. I want to go on a trip. One way is $13,000. I'm so sorry. He's like, well, go. He lets me, but I don't mean to say this, because it doesn't really affect, anything. I'm not cheating, I'm not whatever, but, there is, I want you to, like, I made him get rid of all his clothes when we met.
You not right for that.
I had some fresh
Have
clothes.
you met me?
Some fresh clothes. I knew you was in that Nike gears, the sweatsuits.
No, I kept the Nike.
Okay.
But she made me get rid of all my Sean John. And,
he was shopping at like D&K and K&G.
K&G.
The other day he was at
like
Men's
K&G.
Warehouse. I was so pissed off. I was like, go to Saks. He was trying to find a suit. I'm like, why are we at Men's Warehouse?
And she said that
she's serious about it too.
She said that inside.
She's very serious about this.
This man.
Very serious.
I had a fresh suit. Fresh. I'm telling you. I walked and I said, whoa! This is it. Me and Gia was in there. Sent her a picture and she was like, hate it. I'm like,
it had the fake buttons.
I was like, babe, no, wait,
button.
you got to see this in person.
You gotta see this.
This thing is fresh. I was like, buddy, man, give me this in my size. We done got all suited up for it. And she was like, I'm not coming up there. I said, babe, you got to come see this suit on me. Like, this thing is fresh. And she said, okay, she came up there. And I told the guy, I said, man, my wife is coming. She's kind of tough. You got to make sure you sell her this doggone suit, bro. You got to sell her on the suit. He was like, man, I got you, man. So he did a little presentation. He had it all laid out. She walked in, man, and she was like, is this it right here? And then he put a watch, a Men's Warehouse watch right next to it.
My husband has on a Tag Heuer watch.
And so she's like, this the watch that go with it? And he was like, yeah. She was like, I hate it even more. And I looked at Buddy, I was like, hey man, come on, it's your turn. It's your turn. Like, come on, man, you gotta say something. Buddy was like, so you don't like that at all? I was like, man, you did a presentation. Come on, man. He's like, all right, well, I'm sorry, y'all. I was like, well, man, I appreciate your time, big dog, man. We dipped on out, man. She said, this is men's warehouse, baby. Why don't you even come in here? I was like,
I was so upset.
yeah, so I can never go in men's warehouse again over there.
But then you send him to Saks and he comes home with a $700 shirt, and
I
I'm
don't know
like,
what you want. I'm confused. I'm confused.
what is it? It's Armani. Boo, I did not mean for you to buy a $700 shirt you gonna wear one time.
They look so good on me, too. But I see why it was $700.
Like $300.
Look.
That's reasonable.
I look slim.
I wouldn't have been able to pay know the difference, honestly.
Yes, you would have. You would have. It's let me tell you a thing
I
or
look
two.
like $700.
No,
You look $700.
that thing looks so good. And so that's the thing. I was like, oh, this thing look good.
Yeah.
Because it looked so good on him. And I was like, how much was it? He's like, I don't know.
No, I definitely.
They're talking about man silver card. He was like, I don't know. I pulled a check. I said, this thing was $6.95.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, the guy, but look, you told me to go to Saks.
Shoot. I don't know where I was supposed to start.
Yeah.
I thought that might have been the minimum.
Look,
Right.
you and Chris.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like he lets me be. He lets me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take the girls to Paris. Y'all have fun. Like he lets me be. And you got my back. And that's
Got your back, man.
that is.
I love your back too.
Okay, that's how we're gonna wrap this up,
Don't
guys.
touch me, you weirdo.
That's how we're gonna wrap this up.
We're on TV.
Oh, we're on TV.
It's okay to show love and affection.
I'm
You
like
know he said he liked
Paul
that.
Pierce out here.
I don't get the reference. What is the reference? Tell me.
We'll talk about it.
But no,
Okay.
like I do. And I know about to wrap up, but I do.
Yeah.
He's just good to me, right? So like I'm not saying that we don't have our challenges, but he wants to be good for me.
Yeah, it's
You
marriage.
know,
Marriage.
it's
has
marriage.
challenges. And you're not always gonna be in love. You're not gonna always see eye to eye.
You're not always in love?
Uh-oh.
I said you. I'm always messing up.
Part
So
two.
you-
Part two.
But we do, and you're my friend. And we
was
have a
fun.
good time. I call you and I gossip, and that's fun.
You do. I want to be first when you call. Don't call everybody else first though.
Oh, do you
I'm
desire
like third.
that?
Yes, I do.
like third.
I do desire
Because
that.
you don't give me the reaction. You'll be like, for real, babe? I need Wanda who's gonna be like, girl. You just
I
go
need
along with
that.
it.
Oh,
I
God.
need that.
That's what I need. I'm gonna try you out next week. I'm gonna tell you Lisa's secret.
Call
And I'm
me.
Okay. You better call.
She just wanted to sing. Don't do that. Don't do that. No.
what I'm
There's
talking
no singing on this podcast.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I love you,
you.
sis. I love you, baby.
Love you too, bro.
You're great.
Thank you, Pumpkin. This
Thank
has
you.
been fun.
See, this is how the crew and you could be.
This is nice.
Oh, we didn't talk about the crew and you.
Ooh.
Oh, the crew
Go
on
ahead,
you.
boom.
Hey, the crew on you, man. It comes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Sundays at 8 o'clock. Barbershop Talk live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Check us out, man. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe as well. Appreciate y'all. I'm your boy G.
You're great. I love you, weirdo. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all for joining us. That's right plus right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We love y'all. See y'all later.
Peace.